Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hardwood Nation podcast with your boy CL Anthony, who is under the weather, and my main man Bryce Ward. What is going on, Bryce?
Well, it seems like everyone around me is under the weather. You, and my wife, not having a good time. So I'm good. I'm good. Just working a lot, but I'm good.
It's cool. We're just gonna soldier through this thing. So, as always, we got some shit to get into. We had 3 finals yesterday and 2 eliminations. And the cool thing about last night was the 3 games were decided by a total of 11 points. So we had some close games last night. So Atlanta was actually able to go into Boston and steal that game,
Mhm.
steal game 5 to force a game 6 in Atlanta. The Denver Nuggets finished off the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Phoenix Suns finished off the heavily injured Los Angeles Clippers. Anything surprised you from last night?
Um, I thought Boston was going to close out the series.
Got it.
Uh, nothing, nothing else really besides that. No.
Got it. Um, so let's just do some projections for Minnesota. I know you feel like they might blow that thing up a little bit. Um, what about the Los Angeles Clippers? No Kawhi, no Paul George. Still a deep team when all parts are healthy. Um, how do you think they look going forward? This is year 4, and they haven't even gone to the conference finals.
um, I was going to ask you about that because it's nice on paper to have those two guys, right? Like it sounds amazing. Like as a Magic fan years ago, it was really tough because it was hard to even gauge like how bad we were because even our bad players were hurt. You know you don't know where you stand. It seems like the Clippers, for as good as they are, right? Those two guys by themselves they can barely stay healthy for playoff time, let alone play together. And so it looks super nice on paper, right? And then if they were to play together, you got to think that it's finals or bust. I mean, you got Paul
Right.
George and Kawhi Leonard, but you can't even get to that point.
Right.
So if I was a Clippers fan, I'd be super excited about my team, but equally frustrated at the same time that I've never got to see them play together in the playoffs in like a meaningful way.
Right.
And it's kind of like the situation that we were talking about with Brooklyn before they blew it up. It's you can have KD, you can have Kyrie, but between the two, it's like how often are they going to play together? When are you going to be at peak performance, right? Same for the Clippers. It might be to a point where you just have to move on from one or both. And I think that's where I would stand if I was a Clippers fan, only because, like you said, this is year 4. We've talked about this with the Heat, with the Lakers, with a few teams. It's like, how many more years can you even experiment the way you're experimenting? Year 4 is usually like near the end of the run for that current team. So it's just frustrating because we've never really got to see them put the whole thing together at the right time. And if I was a Clippers fan, I'd be super frustrated. But if I'm, and there's a lot of depth in the league now. Honestly, if I'm Minnesota and the Clippers, I think I go ahead and see what I can change my team into, because I would want to move on from Paul George and Kawhi if I'm the Clippers, and
Hmm.
I would want to move on from Cat, and if I could go Bear, but I don't think that's happening. I mean, I don't know what his contract's like. I just know, to get him what they gave up, it,
Right.
it didn't
Right.
really set them up for the future. So I don't know what Minnesota can and can't do. Um, but if I'm both teams, like at this point, I think you go ahead. Maybe Minnesota buys you another year because they're fairly young, I guess, or their stars are young. Um, but As a fan, I'd want to see change in both regards.
Absolutely. One thing that stood out was Devin Booker went ham last night. Not Jimmy Butler ham, but he went ham last night. 47 points.
Look, you did a whole little episode on the Heat and Butler. Just leave it alone for a minute. God.
Kevin Durant dropped 31 points. Let me finish my point, please. And they only beat the injured Clippers by 6 points. That's what throws me off with this team, because like I said, those two have to exert themselves so much in order to win games. And I just don't know how long they can sustain it, throughout this playoff run. So kudos to them for, eliminating the Clippers. But now they're looking at Denver in the second round matchup. So 2 early playoff predictions, kind of. Who do you got, Denver or the Phoenix Suns?
After this first series, I'm changing my overall pick for the West. I picked Denver coming out of this series.
I'm going to go with Denver as well. I still think it's going to be a close series, but I think that Kevin Durant and Booker are going to run out of a little steam, and Denver has a few more weapons as long as they stay healthy. So I got Denver going to the Western Conference Finals. So tonight, we have 4 games, believe it or not. Game 5 between the Knicks and Cleveland, in Cleveland. Game 5, forgive me, the Knicks are up 3-1. Game 5 between the Lakers and Memphis, in Memphis. The Lakers are up 3-1. Game 5 between Miami and Milwaukee, in Milwaukee. The Heat are up 3-1. And then Golden State at Sacramento with the series tied 2-2, and De'Aaron Fox will be playing. Do you think New York wraps this up tonight in Cleveland?
No.
Got it. Can Memphis stay alive against the Los Angeles Lakers?
It's in Memphis?
It's in Memphis.
Yeah.
Can the Milwaukee Bucks stay alive against the Miami Heat?
Yes.
At some point, you're going to jump off that bandwagon.
At some point, Jimmy Butler's not going to drop 56 or 54 again.
No, he's averaging, just to be clear.
I know, he's having a great series. I know.
37 points per game against the top-rated defensive team in the league, and he's shooting 62% from the field.
Thank God Jimmy Buckets is there, because nobody else is doing
it. We don't care as long as we get the W. It's fine.
That's right.
And then Golden State and Sacramento tied at 2-2. Who takes the series lead?
Golden State.
Ooh, spicy. Have you pivoted on Sacramento?
No, but my original pick, I think, was Golden State. Sacramento surprised me after the first 2 games, and I thought they could, just with their momentum, maybe take over the series. But Golden State, they're just too experienced.
If Golden State wins tonight, it's going to be a wrap in 6, because Game 6 will be in Golden State. I don't think Sacramento could deal with losing tonight.
I know De'Aaron Fox says he's going to play, but still, he might be affected a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. I still think, like, the Kings have showed us everything they kind of need to show us. Even if they lose to Golden State this round, their season is a massive success. If you're going to lose to someone, you would want it to be the defending champs or a team that's expected to go far. So it's not like, look, everybody wants to win a championship. I get it. You can't just do it all in 1 year. So I kind of see them beating Golden State as being like 2 steps forward. And you know how we like to say these teams have to take steps. I think Golden State wins tonight and wins the series.
Got it. So to bring it back to Memphis really quick, if they're eliminated at any point in the series, the 7th seed Los Angeles Lakers, do you think they're going to be the opposite where they've moved backwards versus moving forward, like the possibility that Sacramento can?
Well, backwards in a sense to where they could fall a little bit in the standings compared to where they were, because they did have a really good regular season, but it'll be more, in my eyes, like Phoenix before Kevin Durant. Very good, consistent regular seasons, and then they get exposed in the playoffs and can't really go too far, or can't win a championship. It's not like they're just gonna fall off and fall out of the playoffs. I mean, they had a great regular season. Ja is still great. That so I don't think they fall off per se. I just think the expectations of championship with the current iteration is probably gone.
So with that said, do they make changes in the offseason?
I would if I was them. Maybe some small tweaks. It's not like I'd blow it up, but I would change something, yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you this before I forget. How do you feel about Dylan Brooks with all the trash talk he's been giving, not showing up for the media session after their last loss?
He's a modern day crybaby whose antics won't win him over any fans. Which he may not want, that's fine. But on top of it, the remarks he made the other night really surprised me. Look, if you're gonna play the villain and you're gonna make dirty plays all season, because I've seen him make dirty plays, you're not gonna get the benefit of the doubt. People will have a picture painted of you before they even see you, but that's all on you. You created this whole persona. Don't come and talk about how the media and the fans are all seeing you in a light of a villain. You've painted yourself as a villain, so don't act surprised. To be honest, I don't like anything about the kid. His game isn't even that great. He's good on defense, but then he talks shit to the wrong guy, and LeBron's talking shit back to him, saying, "What? Who are you? Like, nobody thinks anything of you. You can't stop me. What? Who do you think you are? You're a nobody on a team that tried to act tough this season, and it it hurt your team every step of the way." At least with Draymond, he's got it. He makes the right plays. He does the right things. Yeah. He does. When he talks, it's not so asinine and out there. He owns up to what he is, and he speaks the truth for the most part, even if sometimes it's a little out there. But it's nothing like, in this short amount of time, what Dylan Brooks has tried to create around himself. So I've got basically no respect for him, his game. I don't like him at all.
I don't even call them the Grizzlies anymore. I just call them the Teddy Bears. They're the Teddy Bears.
You've come a long way from the what they used to grit and grind.
Yeah, the grit and grind. Yeah. Zebo's like, what the fuck is this shit? Marcus Gasol is like, we don't endorse this. It's been time for a little story time session. Back before the draft, when we were trying to figure out who the Magic should draft, and I was going with Jabari Smith and my ex-brother-in-law, and I believe you were talking about Paolo and Cortez. Ball's Not Court podcast. It's talking about Chet, I believe. Was it Chet this year? Or was that Chet last year? I can't remember now.
It was in the same draft with Paolo. And for the record, I was wrong. I was going with Chet.
Oh, you was going with Chet too? Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but then you sent me a video. I don't even remember what the fuck it was or where he was or who he was playing for, but you sent me a video. And I said, I have been wrong this entire time. Yeah, y'all need to draft this kid. Like, the fuck? The kid had something. He had fundamentals. He just had it. And I'm going to give you now the stage, since Paolo Banchero has now been named the Rookie of the Year for the Orlando Magic.
Why I don't usually homer out for the show, but I got my Orlando Paolo jersey on in support of the kid. He deserves it. He deserves it. And I remember the video I sent you because when the rumors started flying that he was really getting talked about as being the number one pick, I started diving more into it because we don't really keep up with the draft players until it's like really time.
Right, right.
So all season you just hear people talking about Chet, and you get pretty familiar with seeing some of his stuff, and he was fine. The Magic had a history of drafting big men, so I thought maybe history would repeat itself again. And after the type of year Holmgren had, I would have preferred Jabari Smith even over that. At least then you know what you have.
Right.
But no, the clear number one was Paolo. When I saw the video that I sent you, I know what you're talking about. I got to see truly what his game was like, and changed my mind pretty quickly. And but that's why we're not, in these rooms picking picking players for teams. That sometimes people see things that we get caught up in other players we don't even give the time of day to. So kudos to the Magic for making the right pick. But Paolo deserves every bit of recognition. He works extremely hard. He has been underrated somewhat compared to some other players who have gotten the spotlight a little bit more. So he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder in terms of what he wanted to come into the league and prove. I mean, at the beginning of the year, he said he wanted to be Rookie of the Year, or he believed he was a Rookie of the Year already, I think. And once you see him play, that's pretty much all you need. The Utah writer that everybody was tearing up a week or two ago for the projected, it wasn't even the official vote for Rookie of the Year, but it was just like a like a what if. And so this beat writer voted for Walker Kessler and basically explained himself, and one of the in the explanation he said, I really didn't watch any Orlando, or very little. And I get that. I get that, right? It's we weren't on national TV this year. We weren't in the playoffs. I get that. But with that being said, all you need to do, like you said, I mean, like you watched a couple Magic games. Just the eye test alone. I know a lot of people go with analytics nowadays, and they paint two different pictures sometimes. And when a rookie is the number one option on a team, things are different for him. And Paolo had to face that pretty early on. Faced every challenge the right way, and had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. I think the best numbers since Luka. And I think he averaged 20 points. If you round up, 7 rebounds is more 6, and then like 3 assists. But if you round up, like 4, so 20. Let's just say 26 and 3 for a rookie is the number one option.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. To me, it was a no-brainer. The Magic made the right choice. Paolo is the perfect fit, and what they needed, what the Magic needed culturally. I can't say enough good things about the kid. All the Magic Nation is excited and happy for him. There's a lot of good things going forward, and he deserves every bit of it. So
he received 98 of 100 first place votes, so I'm gonna assume your boy in Utah.
He got third place from one of the guys.
Oh man, I didn't know that. Third place? The fuck?
The last rookie of the year to get more votes was Ja. He got 99 of 100. I saw. But Shaq also got 98 out of 100.
Man, he
And
was in the
he's the one
same.
that I guess got to present the or got to announce the award. So that was. I know there's a lot of Magic fans out there that aren't fans of Shaq for one reason or another. It's fine. But I thought that was pretty cool.
Look, Charles Barkley was roasting him last night when they were interviewing Paolo because he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be just as good as the other great Orlando Magic center, Dwight Howard." And
Yeah.
he kept doing it, dude. It was so funny. I love Charles. It was so funny.
But one thing I actually forgot was, because Dwight Howard wasn't a number one pick, or was he? No, he wasn't the number one pick, or another team drafted him and we traded for him in a pick or something.
No. Okafor went number one to Charlotte. No, who had the number one pick that year? Jesus Christ! No, I think Dwight was the number one pick, but they were trying to choose between him and Okafor. I think that's how it worked. Now we could be wrong because my memory is a little foggy this morning, but yeah,
well,
they didn't.
The reason I brought it up because I couldn't remember myself and I forgot to look it up, but I saw a picture that said, oh, okay, so I do think Dwight was number one. This is the first rookie of the year the Magic have had since Paolo's agent, Mike Miller.
Yes.
Mike Miller, that's what I was trying to remember. He won rookie of the year. So that's the last rookie of the year the Magic have had since Paolo was his agent, Mike Miller, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, NBA champion Mike Miller with the Miami Heat. Yes, we love Mike Miller to death. Absolutely.
You might as well, throw on a Heat jersey or something if you're going to be that big a homer.
Some great memories.
Bring it up all the fucking time.
Yeah, some great memories. All right, so we're gonna wrap this thing up. I said Heat in 6. I'm changing it to Heat in 5. I got a funny feeling about tonight. Please like, subscribe, and share our content. Lord have mercy. Drop comments below. We always respond. Tell Bryce how much you love him. Tell me how much you hate me. We are out.